everybody. Good morning. Already time for a sip. We have a new cup today. Hi, everybody. So I'm Tanya Baldwin. I am a trauma wellness healer. And what that means is that I take my trauma experience. So I have an enormous amount of lived experience with trauma. I combine that lived experience with my registered nurse background of 20 years. And also I take the trauma knowledge that I have, like of different modalities. So I combine the trauma modalities with ancient practices, so wellness practices, and combine that with my lived experience and have a trauma wellness package. So the other thing I do is oracle card readings. So I do these oracle readings Monday to Friday. I come on from 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. and I offer a reading for the collective, so just a general reading. And then I also have an opportunity for people to get a free card pull for something that's they need clarity in. There we go, that they need clarity in. But I also have I've done this really cool thing where I've combined my trauma wellness experience and my ability to help with that through guiding you with resiliency, inner child healing, all of that stuff with oracle card readings in this really cool package that I've released. So this package is $6.97 Canadian, and it's for a 3-month package where we meet bi-weekly and I do an oracle reading asking the cards and spirit, that connection with spirit, about what it is that you need to be looking at to healing for right now. And then I give you tips and guidance from my vast knowledge around trauma and wellness. And I give those tips to you based on what the cards are saying that you need to heal. On the opposite week, I pull a card for guidance. So I grab the deck and I say, okay, so say we were dealing with, let's say catastrophizing was something that came up, because I know a lot of us that have been traumatized, me included, I catastrophized a lot. Why? Because when I blow things out of proportion as a child, that meant that I probably got some attention, which was really nice. I didn't always get attention, growing up in those homes that were neglectful. So I would catastrophize, which is basically have a temper tantrum, right? To get someone to pay attention to me. Well, when you're an adult and you stomp your feet and, catastrophize, it doesn't help you anymore. So if the cards were indicating that that's what you needed to work on right now, was say that concern with catastrophizing, then I would give you tips and techniques on how to manage that based on my trauma experience, my knowledge in trauma. So that's this sacred journey oracle reading, and it's just a gentle guidance through your trauma to ignite your self-love. Hello from Texas. Hello, how are you, love? It's been a couple of days. It's been a couple of days since I've seen you on. So anyway, right now we're going to get to, so I have that package. I have a trauma wellness program that's a 6-month program that is really an immersive program to heal your trauma. So I have those 2 packages, and then of course I do just a straight up oracle card reading if you're interested in that. Good morning, Emily. So I've already pulled the cards. If there's cards around me, I pick them up and start shoveling. I've already pulled the cards for the readings. I have them all lined up in their respective decks. So let's see what our reading is for the collective today, and then we'll get to the individual card pulls. But if you have any questions about the stuff that I offer, whether it's the Sacred Journey Oracle package, or it's the Trauma Wellness program, or even an oracle card reading, you can always send me a message or connect with me at some point, and I can give you more information on those packages. Okay. So the first card that I pulled today was Serendipity, but in protection. So when serendipity is in protection, that's basically saying that there's signs and symbols that are out there that you're paying attention to, and you think they mean one thing, but they actually mean something else. So it might seem like, the angel numbers coming up 777, and you're like, oh, this relationship that I'm in is the best relationship. Look at the symbols are there, even though flags have popped up in the relationship where you're like, I don't know about this. Hi, Brittany, love. So, you're seeing the signs and symbols, but you're relating them to something specific, but they don't actually belong to that thing. So that's what this serendipity is talking about. So let's read what Colette Baron Reed had intended the message to be from what I've interpreted from it. But so perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one. Yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you to where you're meant to go. Pay attention to the signs presented to you. And that's a really good message, right? Like sometimes those big things that happen to us, that person that you thought, that relationship that you thought was the one. I had that. My last relationship, I really did think that he was the one. And he taught me some of the biggest lessons that I experienced in my life and propelled me through the biggest amount of growth that I have been through and brought me to this point that I'm at now. So I thank that experience. I thank him for that experience. Right. So that's this card is looking at, there's those experiences that come up and they change us. They seem extremely painful, but they're meant to come and change us. So it was serendipitous, or it was synchronicity that showed up and showed you that person, or made you believe that person was the one, but for the purpose of learning that experience or learning that lesson and evolving and growing. So the other card that I pulled for today was number 9, dances on one foot, and it's talking about a balancing act. So whatever those symbols are that came up, the serendipitous, let's see what the other cards say for that to show us. So when dances on one foot shows up, you're called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, hi, I will put you on the list, Teresa. Teresa's first person asked for a card. Well, done. You're on the list for after the reading. Okay. So let's get back to it. So just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation. I'm putting you on the list. If I reach way over, that's me writing the name on the list for a card. So only because like I didn't set my area up quite well. I have all of my little crystals that are for Sagittarius season sitting on my desk, and I had them sitting in front of me, but I just moved them. So this one's sodalite, a second sodalite. Sodalite's good for communication. The labradorite, my palm stone. This is a beautiful palm stone. Carnelian, it's another, and then black obsidian. So those are so citrine, pyrite, amethyst. Those are the crystals for Sagittarius. So hi, Mirth. I will put a card on there. And Emily and Wild Child, I'll have you on the card on there as well. Emily, Mirth, Wild Child, and Jess, my love. Okay, now let's get back to the card. And Wild Child, stay wild, Moon Child. Hello. And Brittany and Michelle, you both are on the list. Ms. Feliz, my Texas gal. Perfect. I think I've got everybody down that's asked for a card at this point. That's awesome. Okay, back to this card. So as a dancer balances, right? They balance from that one foot to the other, but there has to be balance in between, stepping from that single foot to the next single foot, right? You have to balance in between those two states. That's what it was talking about. You must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult a relationship seems. If you are putting too much effort into managing your life, work, relationship, family, and digital media, you're missing the point. You have to dance while juggling your entire life, knowing that at one time, half of it is going to be up in the air, right? It's that lovely balancing situation. So it's not that you're doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's you're confusing readiness with preparation. You will never be fully prepared for all the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to the invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. So one of the things I did when I stepped into my healing, when I went through my healing journey and got to the outside of it, was that I instituted, so I try to live my life in flow. So this position that I have now, while I'm working for myself in my trauma wellness company of Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self, what I do is I flow from activity to activity. So I don't go and work I don't go to work for straight 8 hours solid. I will work for, say, 4 hours, depending. We'll just use 4 hours as a mark. And then after 4 hours, maybe I'll go for a walk. So I'll go interact with nature. I'll do something that is rejuvenating. Or I will sing karaoke because that's something that brings me joy and elevates my energy. Or I will go and meditate. Good morning, ice cream cakes. Ha ha ha. Hi, Reese. And also good morning, Linda. So I flow between those energies, right? So I have certain things that I have placed at times. So in the morning I get up, I try not to touch my phone. I try to I try to make sure that I meditate. I do breathing exercises. I do yoga, which I did before I started today. But then I get into work, but work kind of flows. It flows in between work and rest and play, right? To get that energy. But that means that I could be working until 10 o'clock at night because it all depends on how my day goes. So it's all about that flow. And this is kind of what that's talking about is, when I'm asking myself, what do I want to do right now? I listen for my body to go, right? I want the yes. I don't want the, oh, okay. Like if somebody asks you, do you want to jump off this bridge? And you're like, don't do it. Your body's telling you don't do it. Right. So that's the kind of, yes, it is. It is with a little piece of citrine in it. It's perfect. Okay, so back to and good morning, Linda. I know I said good morning to you, but I wanted to make sure that I did get back to that. So for those on TikTok, if you tap the screen, you give likes and that spreads the video out so more people can see it. And I would really appreciate it if you do that. For everybody else, likes and comments, they all work too. So I do appreciate that. So it's not that you're doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's you're confusing readiness with preparation. You will never, ever be fully prepared for all the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to an invitation to the spirit the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. So that's what I meant about that. Listen to your body to say yes to something before you jump at it. And you will be surprised how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged to work with the resources available to you and not be seduced by the belief, if I only had more. Life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill your mission. When it feels like you're losing your balance, do not contract, holding your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach them out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steadying hands. So that's weird that it just lost connection to my Facebook page, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to keep going because I could click here. If something happens, I'll come right back on that feed. Okay. It might not. It might just have lost the page, and that's fine. We'll carry on without it because we have everybody else still here considering you. Yeah, I can pull a card for you, Reese. Definitely. I'll put you on the list. Okay, dear. Okay, so we're just gonna, I think it went back to the page. We'll see. Mirth. Exactly. I agree with that, Mirth. Yes. Follow your highest excitement, even if it's going for a walk. For highest excitement will lead you to your goals. It's absolutely true. Okay. So the next card that I pulled for the for the collective reading is the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is competition, conflict, ambition, challenge, being pushed by others to excel, brainstorming, mental jousting, adrenaline and aggression, surpassing limits, dynamic energy, leveling up. A little rivalry can be a good thing. It can push us to become the very best versions of ourselves and move quicker than we would if we were alone. Allow opposition and challenge to help you evolve your methods and to push you beyond self-imposed limitations. If competition becomes unhealthy and you are experiencing the shadow side of conflict or ambition, it's time to take a step back and retreat from the energies that are hindering your progress. Sometimes the need to be right or personal feelings around being questioned or challenged can interfere with the ability to see your path clearly, so you may need to fly solo for a bit in order to reevaluate your options. While clashing egos can slow everything down, they can also propel success. Choose to excel. Look for healthy competition or collaboration that inspires and motivates you. Learn from others and use competing energies as a way to enrich your experience. I support others and they support me, and we rise together in accelerated harmony. So that's a really good message as well, right? So we'll see how this all ties together. There's one more card in the collective reading, and that is the first house about arrival. So we've got this situation, this serendipitous situation of synchronicities that brought us to this moment. We thought was, the one, or we thought was the business, we thought was the opportunity, but we found out it's really not. And maybe that's this competitive energy that's there, that ambition, or, you're pushing in the wrong direction or pushing with the wrong energy there, as opposed to opening up and receiving or following the yes, right? Being open with or working with spirit. And that's that dancing, that balancing between those different options, and, just balancing and flowing between what you're doing, but following again. You want to follow that, that yes. That's how your life needs to be. Follow the yes in your life, not the right? Don't force yourself to do things that you're not interested in. So the first house, just for our little astrology lesson, the first house that shows up in the first house that is in your astrology chart, there we go, describes how you enter the world, your first impressions, and the birth of your journey of self-discovery. If your chart were a village map, the first house would be a gateway and information center. Planets in the first house are just about to rise over the eastern horizon, where the sun would be just before dawn, so we feel them strongly. So what this is talking about is taking responsibility for how you are perceived. So how do you enter the room? What energy do you carry? How do you speak? What do you uphold, right? So how are you carrying yourself in the world? That's what you want to pay attention to. So something that maybe you're showing up like this one here does talk, the challenge to see beyond the shallowness of appearances, see behind the smoke screens, and take responsibility for how you're perceived. So maybe that serendipitous moment was brought on because we weren't being our true selves. We were showing up differently than what we should have showed up. So we're being perceived in this different way, which maybe created a little bit of conflict within us or competition. And, we need to just get back to that flowing, showing up as who we are. Okay. So that's what I'm getting from the reading for this morning is be your true self and follow your and understand that that serendipitous moment, it was here to cause you to evolve and to grow and to become more of yourself. That's really what the message for that card is. Okay. So let's see. Now we get to do the individual readings, starting with Teresa. Teresa, are you still there? I think that you are. And now I'm once again going to move my crystals over a little bit so I don't knock them off when I'm pulling cards. All right. So Teresa, hi, would you like a card, Arjuman? And Teresa, if you have a question specifically in mind, please just write it down. Otherwise, I'll just give you the general. So Tabitha, right now, I'm just doing free card pulls. Good morning, Sarah. Right now, I'm just doing a free card pull. So I just channel your energy as I'm shuffling the cards, and then whatever card resonates or, I feel a strong pull to, I will pull for you and read the message from it. If you have a specific area in which you have a question, that's the area that I'll target the message for. So yeah. Awesome. I'll pull a card for you, Smart. First, we're doing Teresa. And Teresa, if you had a specific question, just let me know, okay? I can put you on the list, Tabitha, for sure. Teresa is first. Okay. Will your son be okay? All right. So the card that I pulled for you was Come to the Edge, number 36. Okay. So let's see what the general message is for number 36. I pulled it right to the spot. It was pretty quick. Ah, it is. Thank you, Tabitha. So number 36. So courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. But you can see like she's, and just to show everybody else the card too. So she's not like, she just doesn't look like she's being pushed off the edge. She doesn't look like she's in any distress whatsoever. She's dancing off the edge with reckless abandon. She's just like, this is a beautiful expression off the edge. Okay. So there's not that fear. There's not a push. There's not, she's being pulled or dragged, or there's any fear within that picture. You know, as she's flowing away, like there's a cascade of hearts that are coming behind her. Like it's just a beautiful thing. So facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that's not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. So I don't know what your son has going on, but maybe he needs to be taking a leap of faith, but that just to know everything's going to be okay, right? When he takes that leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You're called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. So give him that instruction. Listen to the heart and soul, not his head, right? Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles, okay? So that's, and tell him like to speak up, to voice what is needed, to state who they are, like who he is and what he's required, what he hopes for, right? It's just take that leap of faith. Okay. That's what he's being asked to do. Okay. So the next person on the list is Kimberly. Kimberly, are you still there? Will I go? Okay. I'll put you down. We got a couple. It's a Tabitha morning. We got a couple of Tabithas. So I have you both on the list though. So the next card is Kimberly. Are you still here, Kimberly? And if you are, if you just give me an idea of what you're asking, what question you're looking for. And yes, please tap the screen, everyone. I would love it if you could tap the screens. Look, we have 11 viewers, 1.1 likes. On here, we got 3. Good morning, guys. And 1 there. Brittany. Kimberly not here. Oh, Kimberly, no specific. So just a general. We'll do a general then. Okay. You're welcome, Teresa. Okay, so just a regular one for you, Kimberly. Just a general question. So the card that I pulled for you, Kimberly, is Here and Now. Okay, Here and Now. Just show that to everybody. And Here and Now is number 32. Okay, so you can always look at the number as well for an additional message. Almost right there. 32. So being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Everything everything happens in the now, in the present. And that's the one thing that I talk with everybody about is it's the here and now, right? Only this moment actually exists, right? Everything else becomes just fragments of our minds, right? So we're either remembering or we're envisioning. But the only moment that actually exists is the here and now. It's just a rolling moment that rolls from one moment into the next, right? So when we step out of the here and now, we're not truly experiencing our life. We're just living in our minds at that point. So this is talking about just living one day at a time. So everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. So it's a really good question, and it's a good message, and it's one that we can all listen to, right? We benefit so much by being in the here and now. And when we're in those two different poles, if we're sitting there reflecting on the past and we're looking especially at the negative stuff that happened to us in the past, we're really putting ourselves in risk of depression. When we're in that forward view and we're looking at the forward and negative, like the worst case scenario of what's going to happen, that doom and gloom mentality, then we're also looking at the potential for anxiety. Anxiety typically comes from that fearful outlook of the future, whereas depression is the sadness of viewing the past, right? And it's more complicated than that, but is one of the things that you can do to really help with that is get Get obsessed with the present moment, because in the present moment, that's when you can actually affect change. And those two things, we're powerless, right? We can't do anything about the past to change what's gone on. And with the future, we can't change anything about what's coming towards us, except for have a positive aspect in the present. Okay, so that's just the message for you with that. Okay, it's just being in the here and now, and a great message for all of us. So now Emily, is Emily around still? If you're here, let me know. Oh, nice. Well, welcome, friends. Hi, Sam. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do as well. Great message for today. Hey, Amanda. Hi, love. How are you? Emily. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that made you feel uncomfortable. You want another card for about your mom? Okay, I'll give you a general message then. Okay, for you. All right. Perfect. It's a great message for today. It's a great message for every day. Be in the here and now. Be obsessed with the now. Right? Eckhart Tolle said that, the power of now, right? Okay. So Emily, in regards to your mom, I don't know why, but that one's still. So new life. You're welcome. So the card that I pulled for Emily, new life. Okay. So that is number 39. It made you feel comfortable. Okay. I'm like, uncomfortable. Oh no, that makes me sad. Huh. Yes. I know. I read it, uncomfortable. I will put you on the list, Amanda, for sure. And remember, anyone on TikTok, the goal here is to tap the screen for likes. That's what we have to do, so we spread the message out. Okay, Emily, number 39, new life. You're on the list, Mandy's or Mans, the Mans 1, 2, 3, 4. You are on the list, and you are on the list just in time. Okay, so for you, Emily, when spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight. Birds return home and sing their glorious song. Good morning. Good morning, House and Butters. I'm trying to remember what your name is. Oh, anyway, it might come to me in a moment. I feel like it starts with an S for some reason, but so miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world. Sarah, it was an S though. I was, yes. And yes, Amarpreet, I will put you on the list for sure. Awesome. And Amanda, I got you on the list. I got to make sure. All right. I think I've caught up. Hi, Sarah. Okay. So all is well in your world and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to be filled with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this time is of good fortune. New energy enters old relationships and new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is an excellent time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respects to love and partnerships in all forms. So I hope that's a good message for you, Emily. It's really positive about relationships. And, you know, if you are looking for love, that could be an auspicious sign about that too. So now is Mirth, then Wild Child, Jess, and Brittany. Okay, so we'll give a little heads up about the next cards that are coming up. Okay, you're welcome, Emily. You're welcome. I don't know where that language was coming from. Yeah. So Mirth, I think the cards want me to get all mixed up now. They want to throw some into protection modes and things. What is your gift and how you should love yourself? You know what? I really think, Amarpreet, you should really look into that Sacred Journey Oracle package that I have. I think that would be really, really good for you. We meet for 6 sessions, which are spread every other week. So over the course of 3 months, we meet 6 times. And I do an oracle card reading talking about what is it that you need to work on to heal, and give you tips and techniques to foster that healing. And then on the opposite week, I'll pull a card for you and give you guidance on the off week. So I'll intuit the message, and then I send you a picture of the card and the message. So we meet 6 times by video, and you get 6 card pulls that are personalized towards whatever we're talking about in our experience. And if I've been doing it where if you pay for it all up front, then I give an additional oracle card reading. So you'll get a 7th oracle card reading for paying all up front. But I do offer payment plans. So that's why I'm saying that. So that would be, I think it's great for anybody, but anybody would benefit from it if you're looking at healing your trauma. Okay. Mirth. We got the here and now again, my friend. So be in the present moment, and I'll read with the here and now. I'll read really quickly. It's number 32. I'll read really quickly the prosperity message. Okay. There's a few more until you, Mandy. You're down a little further on the list. People are pretty quick to get their names on there. So if you're looking in a relationship, it's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now. One that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that's available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you are a magnet for love. Spirit is madly in love with you right now. Did you know that? Turn to Spirit to feel the love of the joy in the here and now. So that just expands on that message with being in the here and now to give you just a little bit of another viewpoint of it, whereas it's in relationships. So after Mirth is Wild Child. Are you still here, Wild Child? Let me know if you are, and if not, then it will be Brittany. And I know Brittany's still there. I appreciate you hanging on, my love. Okay. Sometimes when we get to this point, Mans, it does go a little bit faster because people drop off of watching. So we end up skipping past it. Did you like that? Be in the here and now, my love. 3,000 likes. Is Rich over you? I can put you on the list, Susan. All right. Well, I haven't heard anything from Wild Child, so I'm going to move on to Jess and then Brittany. Okay. And I can put you on. I put you on the list, Susan. Okay. So Jess, this is for Jess. The Fates, my dear. Okay. So we'll show that card. The Fates. So let's see what the message is for you. We'll read the general message. So fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message. I don't know why this lost connection again. That's so weird. Keeps losing connection to my business page, which is weird. Okay, back to the message, Jess. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So when we get that Serenity Prayer of like knowing what you need to change and what you when you didn't. Love you, sweetie. So to know the difference, right? So what those things that you cannot change, that's a radical acceptance thing. And we do have to radically accept a lot of things within our life, even though it seems really challenging, right? It seems hard. Sometimes, like that person that left you or that friendship, that friend that dumped you, right? Sometimes we don't want to accept that. We don't want to accept that we want closure or something. But sometimes we can't actually get that closure. We just have to accept that. And you have to accept it so you can move on. Because when you're not accepting it, you're holding on to all the energy from that experience, right? So if you're sitting there in that negative space of loss, right? That's just not, it's not good for your health. It's not good for your well-being, and it's not good for your future, because we base our future ends up being built out of what we're doing today. So if today you're in sadness and in loss and feeling, that things aren't going right for you, or you're beating yourself up, calling yourself names, then your future, your tomorrow is going to be built on that. So it's going to be built out of those thoughts and emotions that you're experiencing today. So radically accepting it and being able to move on from something is so important within our trauma experiences. By radically accepting, it's not saying that you're agreeing with what anyone did with you, or that it's right or wrong or anything like that. This, it's the experience that you need, right? So there are things in life that you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose that you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. So sometimes it's about asking that question. What am I learning from this experience? So that friend that dumped you, maybe they, maybe you weren't the best friend to them, right? Or maybe what you're going to learn from that experience is that you've changed and that person's no longer in alignment with who you are, that you're different. Maybe you weren't actually showing up as yourself, or maybe we need to learn sometimes that we can be selfish, or, other things. So that's the message for that. Okay. For you, Jess, my friend, Jess. Okay. Brittany, this is your card, my love. And then after Brittany, Ms. Felice, and then Reese and Smart Arjuman. And then we got a couple of Tabithas, although I only see 4 people there. So if people come back, maybe, but we'll see who's all there. But right now, Brittany, this is your card. No. You're welcome, Jess. Number 40, co-create. So show it to all the windows. Okay. All right. Thank you for sticking around. And for anybody that's on TikTok, just tap, 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 because it spreads the video out further, and I'll get on to the list of who's next. So co-create for you, Brittany. Creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, manifestation. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you are aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know you co-create it, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. Connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. You are looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. You're getting close. So there, and co-create with spirit, right? And love. I mean, I think it's a beautiful message. It's really what I was just talking about, like how we feel about ourselves, or how we, our thoughts, actions, and beliefs in today is what's going to make tomorrow the tomorrow that it's going to be. So if we're in today and we're in that negative space, we're talking about this bad thing happened or that bad thing happened, or we're expecting that the future is going to be terrible or it's going to be whatever, right? If we look at, I love myself. How many more balls? Well, let's see. Ms. Felice is here. So it's going to be her card. And then I can ask, is Smart Arjuman there? If Reese is there, or if Tabitha is there. And I had a couple of Tabithas. And if not, then I'll be Amanda on here. And after Amanda is you, Mans. Okay. So I think we're going to skip through a few because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to see. I mean, if I do see Miss Felice, she's getting her card right now because I know she's here. And would you like, what would you like your question regarding, my dear? If it's directed at anything in particular or just a general? This one. Your future. For Ms. Felice, deep knowing, number 43 in protection. Okay. So number 43 in protection for Ms. Felice. So general, you're going to get the protection message. That's the thing about the protection message. It's just a protection message. It's based on the whole caboodle. The whole caboodle. That's the good message, right? The whole caboodle. Number 43 in protection, my dear. So you are in empathy overload. Let's make sure this is the right. Yeah. Okay. Just had to verify. So you are in empathy overload and need to get grounded again. So tune out for a bit. Hypersensitive, you're suffering from psychic exhaustion. This signals a time for a recharging of your batteries. Set energetic boundaries, take a salt bath, empty your mind, and get back to you. It's not a time to be too open. Soon enough, you can let your guard down. Right now, you need self-care and self-love. It's time to say no thank you to anyone in your life who exhausts you. Won't that feel good? And I think we should all do that, right? Like, I think that's an important message for all of us. If you're around people that are exhausting you, then really evaluate what point or what benefit they have within your life, right? And hi, Crystal. If you're not, if they're draining you, there's something there that you need to be aware of, right? So we want to be around, and when you get around those people that you come around and they feel like sunshine, those are the people you want to keep in your life, right? The people that feel like sunshine, because they're going to elevate you. They're going to make you feel better going forward. There's a reason why their energy feels so good to you, right? So you want to align yourself with those people. And when somebody comes up and their energy just, it butts against you and it's like a wave, like really think about who that person is within your life and whether they, oh, yay. That's so cool. A great big huge salt bath. That'll be an amazing experience. It's raining here today, so I'm actually going to go out at some point and I'm just going to stand and have a rain bath because it's very cleansing and it can really help you to step forward into, manifest stepping into your highest self, that kind of thing. Yes, so great to be in alignment. Absolutely. Okay, after so Smart, if you're there, Arjuman, Reese, Tabitha, or Tabitha, and if not, it's Amanda. Okay, so I've just called out all the names for the people that were on TikTok that had asked for a message, and if not, we're going to go to Amanda, and then we're going to go to Mans. Okay, so Mans, you're next after Amanda. So Amanda, and then Mans. Okay. Hi, Sylvia. All right. Oh, Amanda. Oh, Amanda got co-create as well. So that's all about co-creating with spirit. No, Amanda's not on that one. Amanda's on this feed. Okay, so co-create, number 40. I'll read a different part of it because I think when we read it last time, well, I did. I read the general and the relationship, but for the rest of co-create, I'll read the prosperity message, and then yours is next, Mans. Okay. So prosperity, this can also benefit you, Brittany, because it's the same card that I pulled for you, was co-create. So flashes of inspiration give rise to great success when you receive this message. You are at your most creative now, and whatever you apply yourself to will lead to the fruition of your dreams. Remember that all your ideas are channeled from a higher source. You create your reality in partnership with spirit. The potential for manifestation is unlimited now. Revel in its vastness. And it is a good time for manifestation. And right now is the waxing moon in Pisces. It's the first quarter in Pisces. We just had the new moon in Sagittarius last week. So then this today, and I'll be doing a check-in, a ceremony in my Divine Feminine Healing Collective in the Facebook group. We do a check-in, which involves looking at how the moon affects you based on your sun, moon, and rising signs, as well as some oracle card pulls for the collective in that space. And then we do a crystal energetics meditation healing session. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, hit me up and I can give you, let you know how to get involved in that group, which is on Facebook. So this is for you, Mans. Okay. And the card is Time to Go, number 45. Okay. So number 45. And you were saying with relationships and kind of your future with that card. So I'll read the general, but then I'll highlight the relationship message for you, okay? So the essential meaning is endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. And I can definitely put you on the list, Annie. I put lots of people on the list, and then when I get to your point, saying time to go. So the Oracle's message: you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a while. Your destiny is calling you. In a relationship, it's over, or at least the very form of this relationship that it's taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. Hi, Kayleen. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. This doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak of a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it is more about release than destruction. Remember that saying: if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. So with that message, it doesn't mean if you're in a relationship right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that relationship is over. It could mean that form that the relationship is currently in, that you guys have some healing that you need to do, that you might have to heal some stuff. They might have to heal some stuff. And then when they've healed, you guys can come back together, and then you'll have a new relationship that's based on this new version of yourself and that person. If you're not in a relationship right now and you were looking to see if a relationship, was coming to the forefront for you, then what I'm hearing from this message is right now, it would be a time to focus on you and just working on your healing and making sure that you're the healthiest version of yourself, because then you'll be attracting the healthiest partner to you. Okay. So that's the message that I'm getting from that. Time to go. Time to go. So after Mans is Amarpreet. I hope you're still there, my friend. I'll put the message in for you. I see that there are some people still watching there. So does that make sense to you, Mans? Is it relevant, or does it it resonate with you? Okay, so Amarpreet. Sorry. And then after Amarpreet would be Susan and Annie on TikTok. And anyone that's on TikTok, if you can give me likes, that would be really handy. All right, let's see what Amarpreet's card is. So when I do the trauma wellness or the oracle card, the oracle reading package, I do a 5-card spread asking the cards about what is the thing that you need to focus on for healing, or, what spirit is guiding you or God is guiding you towards in your healing journey. So it's 5 cards that give us that message, not just one. On the in-between week, I do one card pull to give you your guidance message. So it would be a message kind of like this one. I'll put you on the list, Kayleen, for sure. So Amarpreet, I pulled you round and round in protection mode. So let's see what the protection message is for that. And round is number 25 for the card number. And I say the card numbers so that, thank you so much. So that, and you're definitely on the list, Kayleen, and it won't take me long now. There's only a couple of people before you, okay? So when it's in protection, I just read the protection message. So are you refusing to see your own personal responsibility for repeating lessons you don't need to relearn, okay? You have to surrender now to the fact that you are a common denominator in all these repeat performances. Be happy, for this is a wonderful spot to be in. You can now see the cycles that you wish to exit. Once you figure out that you have the power to stop going round and round, you possess the key to your freedom. Be good to yourself. It's not about blame, but accountability. You can have the abundant life filled with love and prosperity that Spirit so wants for you. I did pull a card for you, Amanda, and the card that I pulled for you was co-create, and it was about it's the same card that I had pulled for Brittany, oddly enough, but it was talking about co-creating with Spirit, about being very inspired and creative right in this time. And it would be just slightly, probably about 5 minutes maybe before you joined in. So I would look around the 40 to 45 minute mark, probably closer to 45 minute mark for your card when the recording goes up. Perfect. Perfect. So for Amarpreet, right? It's kind of what I was saying, like we participate in our own struggling, right? We oftentimes and how we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, the actions that we do. If I get up every day and I do the same thing, I can't expect tomorrow to be any different than today is, right? Today is going to just be a repeat of the day if I do nothing to change it. I'm the one that has to do those changes, right? And I have to understand that I participate in my own suffering. Right? If I'm in a relationship that's toxic and I do nothing to leave that relationship, I'm participating in keeping that toxicity within my life. That's the mentality of that, right? So it's not about blame. It's just taking accountability. I take accountability for the fact that I stayed in my relationship for 8 years when signs were there, probably around year 2, that I should exit the relationship. So for the other 6 years, I continued to participate in my suffering by staying in that relationship. That's an example of that. When we go to work to a job every day that drains us, like when you go to work and you come home from work and you're just like, I hate my job. I'm just working for the weekend. You're participating in that suffering because you do have the control or the ability to change your job, right? You have the ability to look for another job. We say we don't, but we do. We all have the ability to change our life. So that's what that message is saying. It's saying that to look at where you are within your life, that you're showing up in that space, and just to take accountability for the fact that you create those patterns that keep coming by doing the same behaviors, the same actions. When you heal yourself, that's when you get to step out from that. But you're also not the same person as you were when you made those mistakes because you've grown and evolved. So you have a different perspective. Hi, Anthony. Okay, after Amarpreet, Susan, if you're still there, let me know. And if not Susan, then Annie. And if not Annie, Kayleen. Okay, so those are the order of the cards that are up next. Okay, and if we'll go through that, go through those names first. So Susan, are you still there? Hi, Kayleen. No Susan. How about Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Isn't that how the song goes? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? No. All right. Well, Kayleen it is. And then take a peek at the time. Look at that. We're doing really well with time today. Because after 10, I jump off. Normally, I would offer to stay for a little bit on TikTok at least, where we could do like an energy exchange. So a gift for a card, but I have an education session at 10:30, so I won't be able to stay much after 10. Okay, so this is for you, Kayleen, and I can't remember exactly what you were asking your question regarding. Hi, Jared. Goo. Whatever you were asking your question for, if you want to let me know, then I pulled the same card for you. Time to go. Sometimes we get the repeated cards. I think that's always interesting when we get the repeated cards. So time to go. There's something that it's time to leave something, right? Something that you're doing. You've learned all that you can learn from it, right? Because that's what life is. It's all about learning and experiences and evolving to become really the best us, the most truest form of us, right? People come along and tell us how we should be, right? We get nurtured by our parents, by our siblings, by our friends, by our schools, right? We get formed into these little beings. And at the end, we're like, wait a second, but I really like to draw. I don't really like math. Why am I an engineer? Right? So, or, we have beliefs that we didn't actually, we didn't pay attention to why we have them. We just have them because that's what somebody gave to us, but we're not, we need to understand what our belief system is. So the time to go is that there's an experience that you've had, whether it's, at work, maybe there's, a role that you have at work that's, it's run its course. It's taught you all the lessons that it's going to teach you. Maybe the relationship has taught you all the lessons that it's going to teach you. Like that's the kind of message that's here. And it's time to leave whatever that situation is. So, I don't know if that helps you at all, but one thing is when you close the door on something else, you open yourself up to receive, right? And I tell that all the time. If I love this cup, I do, but if I ever decided I didn't want this cup anymore, I can't have another cup if I won't let go of this one, because I can't hold two cups in the same space. I can't have two relationships in the same space. I can't have two jobs in the same place, right? And you have to be okay to let go. So that's what it's talking about with that message for you, Kayleen, is just that there's something that within your life that you've learned all the lessons from, and it's time to let go of it and move on. Okay. Move on from that experience. Take the lessons that you've learned and move on. And that's how we should approach most of the things in our life. The 5555 is to, if it's not serving you, if it's not benefiting you, if it's not helping you, if you've had an experience that's been terrible, to look at what can I learn from that experience? What can I take from that experience and go on in my life? How can I grow and evolve through this experience? Or what is it teaching me about myself? What is it teaching me that I like or that I don't like? What is it teaching me that I tolerate or I don't tolerate? What boundaries is it teaching me that I need to have in place, right? Negative thoughts is a huge thing to let go of, right? Huge, huge, huge thing to let go of. Right. And, I went through my healing journey. One of the things that I did, I had to work on my negative thoughts. So I was traumatized prior to birth, in that my mom was a very, so tapping, if you just tap on the screen, right? I'll talk to you about the negative thoughts, but to give likes, just tap on the 3. It's a beautiful cup, isn't it? I love it. I love it. I'm going to have a sip now that I have it in my hand again. Sips are more like gulps for me. Let's be real. And then I forgot where I was. So negative thoughts. And my trauma story. So I was traumatized from prior to birth because my mom was an abused woman. So the whole time that I was in her belly, I was being fed like adrenaline and cortisol and all of those hormones and stuff that come up when we're experiencing trauma, right? So as an adult, we get that rush of chemicals through our body. And, but when you're in utero, like when a pregnant woman is getting traumatized, that cascade of chemicals gets fed to the baby too. So that's how we get intergenerational trauma, is because the trauma that came from the mom, or the mom being depressed or anxious, that feeds through to that baby because of the chemicals that are in the babies. Right. And yes, tapping, definitely a good one. So when I went through my trauma, like with all of my traumas, very young, very early, so I have complex PTSD, and through that complex PTSD, you end up having a lot of relationship issues. And the reason why is because you weren't taught what healthy relationships look like by your primary caregivers, and you weren't taught how to have a good relationship with yourself. right? So we end up having really bad, and you could always work with me, Kayleen, because this is all stuff that I do. I do resiliency toolkits. If you're on Facebook, follow me for sure, because I have 3 different groups that I have. The one group, Calm Spaces, has a ton of resiliency stuff that's recorded within it that you can watch at any point in time. So there's lots of opportunity there. And even that Sacred Oracle journey that I do, that Sacred Oracle journey, that 3-month package, that's an amazing package. Or even just sign up for a single session with me, where I do an oracle reading and give you your spirit animal and what he's trying to guide you on. But I also, when I do the oracle card, the Sacred Journey oracle card for 3 months, in each of those sessions, I give you tips and skills like that. So if it came up talking about working on, say, an underlying fear that you have, I could, in that moment, as an example, through that session, I could go through that session and be like, okay, so you're dealing with a fear. And let's say you reveal, that something happened when you were a child and you have this fear of being kidnapped. I have a fear of that because I was kidnapped when I was 15. Right. So I would go through a tapping thing. Even though I feel afraid right now, I know that I am safe and protected. Right. There's other soothing techniques that I teach people, other resiliency tips that I pass on. And I give, like, from a very broad bank of knowledge, whether it's my own experience in healing my trauma, whether it's, leading trauma experts and the stuff that I've learned from them, or it's more traditional ancient practices. Like I work with a yogi or with a sharma to learn things about the chakra systems and mudras, and through my nursing with things around mental health, around nutrition and wellness. So I incorporate all of those into the information that I share during those Oracle Journey card readings, is I give you tools and techniques that you can use to work through what the cards are revealing for you. So that's the Oracle, the Journey package. Okay, so that time to go. There's something that you can let go of, and that might be those negative thoughts. So what I did was, whenever I caught myself saying something negative to myself, so you get into that set and you're like, I'm such a loser, right? Or, oh my God, I can't believe what an idiot I am that I did that. Or I'm so ugly, like, oh my God, it's no wonder why I don't have a boyfriend. I'm so ugly, right? Like, whatever it is that you're saying to yourself, the second that I caught myself saying something negative to myself, I would stop and I would stop and I would say 3 things that were positive. So if I said I was a loser, I would stop and be like, I'm capable, I'm confident, I am strong. If I said that I wasn't, like, oh, I'm so ugly, I'm just hideous. Say I'm beautiful, I'm lovable, I'm worthy, or I'm enough, right? And you can combine those words with this soothing technique, right? Which just really, really will help you to soothe through those words, right? It can really help you. Or you can tap, and in between here, in this point here, a really good spot to help. Send me a message through TikTok, and I will send you a link to book. Okay. And I'll just send you the 2 links, one for an individual reading and one for the package. And then you can make a decision about which one that you want to do, or you can do an individual reading and then we can discuss the package if you want, or you can just book a call with me and we can discuss what I can offer for you. Okay. But just send me a message and I'll send you information on how to do that. Okay. All right. Sound good. So we're past 10 o'clock. And I did make it to the end of the actual list that I had written. I hadn't put anyone else on the list, but if somebody wants a card right now, first person to ask for a card and maybe drop something for me, whether it's a bunch of likes really quick or to drop a gift really quick, I'll pull a card for you. Okay. So whoever hits me up with something cool right now will get a card. Could be a cool comment too. Could be some serious lights. Karamjit, getting some likes from you. Getting some likes. All right. All right, Karam. Kayleen, I love that. That's a beautiful one. Kayleen's like, I'll take a second card. I love it. Thank you guys so much. I love the TikTok. I love this. I love the way that TikTok does it. I really do. I get a kick out of that. And I'm not sure who's still watching on this feed, but thank you. I love you too. I really do. Okay, Karim, here's a card for you. Okay, Karamji. And what makes you think that your son-in-law is jealous of your daughter? Is he displaying some bad behaviors about that? Because I pulled that flexible in the reverse. So is somebody being rigid? That's what it's talking about. So the protection message of this one, he's displaying symbols. Okay. So when you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open up your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. So are you planning on doing something about this? Are you planning on approaching your son-in-law to see? Or are you seeing things a little differently than what the truth really is? Have you spoke to your daughter? Because I think that would be a good place to start, right? Is start with talking to your daughter. So rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Can you meet in the middle? Spirit makes a great mediator. Okay, so there's this rigid, are you being rigid around the subject that's there? And they keep fighting. So it's really hard when because you're the third party, right? To get that read on it, right? Like I'm going to read what you should be doing within this situation. And it could be saying like, are you being rigid? But it could be a message for your daughter, right? Or, for your daughter that maybe she's being rigid, or maybe your son-in-law is being rigid within that experience. And they have to look at what is the healthiest thing for our relationship versus me or you, right? There has to be that, what is for the best for us, not a me against you kind of scenario. So I don't know if you can have a conversation with your daughter to find out, like, what does she feel about the situation? How does she feel that it's going, right? And does she feel like he's jealous or that he's controlling, or is she doing something that's making him feel jealous, right? Is she doing something that's bringing about that feeling from him, right? If I'm out, and it could be just a difference in views. Your message is not going through. Oh no, I'm seeing that one now. What message are you sending, love? Maybe we can try it again. Maybe it'll come through now. That was weird. Or you mean like a message to me privately? Just hang on one second. And you did add me. So let's see. I'm going to follow you back. Okay. And it says that we're friends. I sent an invite. I think I sent an invite for you to join me, and I didn't mean to do that. But if you join me, hi. Hi, Kayleen. I was trying to send you a message, but unfortunately I decided to send you an invite to the live. That's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, I will see if maybe I can send a message here. Let me see if I can get my link. So this one here would be for the $45 session. Oh, meanwhile, I'm trying to copy it. I was trying to copy it from my computer to my iPad, which would not work. But give me a second, because I do know how to just find my program here. I do know how to, I'll just bring up my Calendly and I will type in the link, because I do know most of the Calendly link is HTTPS. And I'm typing. Oh, we'll get this figured out some point, Kayleen. HTTPS // and we'll go back to the alphabet Calendly. This is much more challenging than I thought. I'll give you the link. Okay, perfect. It went through. Probably, I mean, maybe the dual ad. And that's what I was going to do was rooting for him. Let's see what the, I won't be able to share paste it that way, but if I can grab the, okay, slash, all right, forward slash, back to the AD, forward slash, and then so this will be the big booking form. Oops. If we did it correctly, DNX dash. Oh, it changed it. Don't change it. Don't autocorrect. Oh my God. They do not make it easy, let me tell you, to type right now. But maybe it'll work better now. Nope. 7. Hi. Oh, him and his parents have a problem. That's unfortunate. Oh. R. This is, I'm so sorry that that's taking so long. It's mostly because it's me. It's user error. It's definitely user error. Oh, why did you take the 7 away? I want the 7. It's like, no, we're going to change it. We're going to change it for you. We're predicting that you don't want the 7, or we're predicting that you want to put, make words, not these weird combos. Okay. Verifying it one more time before I send it to you. Then make sure we've got everything. Send. Okay. That's the Calendly link. That was a challenge to type on there. Okay, so I love you guys. I'm back Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. I am live doing these sessions. Then after 10 o'clock, if I have time within that day, I will open it up on TikTok that you can do an exchange for a gift to get a card. So if you can't get a card within the first hour that I do the free cards, you can always stay tuned. And then whether you give me a gift or you give, lots of likes, there has to be that energy exchange. But beyond that, you can always connect with me, send me a message if you want to know more about the packages that I have, or, my process, or what those packages actually entail, like what the process is for that. Okay. And, if you're not somebody that's looking for trauma healing, but somebody else that could benefit from, healing their trauma or working on recovering their mental health, connect them with me, and we'll see if I don't work for them as well, right? It might be something that I can provide. That trauma wellness, that Oracle, that Sacred Journey Oracle package, you cannot believe the value that is in that package. Like, that is an amazing, amazing opportunity to heal your trauma for a really, really small cost. I know when I was going through my trauma recovery, I was going to see a therapist twice a week, every week. So the cost to me, like my copay through my insurance company, was still $100 per session. But then you run out of benefits when you hit about $500-$600. That's how most people's benefits go to $500-$600 for therapy. Then after that, you're paying fully out of pocket. So to spend 697 Canadian dollars, which is about $515 American, to work on your trauma or your mental health with me, and in this form, it's a huge, huge value. Like, I can't even believe that I'm giving it away for this price. And I mean, only for this year at this point am I giving it for this price. And the same thing with my trauma wellness package. My trauma wellness program is a 6-month program where you see me an hour a day, Monday to Friday. I do group programming. And then each month we have a one-on-one individual session where we delve deep into your trauma or whatever you're struggling with. And I give you guidance and tools and tips and techniques, which you're also giving an access to my trauma library, the library of education that I've pre-recorded. So on building a safe space, on soothing techniques, on wellness, on understanding, unhealthy coping mechanisms. So that whole library of education on that is available for you to go through at a self-study pace. But the 5 days a week, you meet with me in a group format, and then once a month you meet with me individual. That's how that program. So there's a lot of work that went into that program, and typically that's a $3,000 program, but I've discounted it for the rest of the year for $2,000, which means that Canadian it'll be about $333 a month, and American I think it's around $280. And then UK, I don't know. I don't have the conversion rate for the European. But yeah, so those are the packages for anyone that was interested in knowing that. And if you know anyone that could benefit from the services that I provide, get them to connect with me, share my information, or whatnot. And I will see you tomorrow from 9 till 10, where I give you the collective reading, and then I will pull individual cards again for people that are interested in getting that. Okay. But I'm hopping off now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the likes and the gifts and stuff. And I appreciate most of all just that you attended. So love to everybody. Everybody. Hi, Dr. Suresh. Bams. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Okay, I'm off. I love you guys. Bye. Bye. Let's go one by one. Boop. 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 It's just in a bad position for me to end that one. Bye, guys. Love you. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, Amanda, just check around the 45-minute mark. I think that's when that would be at for your reading. Okay.